you've got a sporty spice here when she actually runs onto the stage.
Yeah.
To save every second.
Very nice to see you, Claire. My colleague, I never actually see Claire in the BBC, but that's how it is.
How's your whippet?
My whippet is worn around my neck
Oh my
every
gosh,
time.
but still alive as well.
But very much alive.
Thank God for that.
Refused to come out in the snow, just won't budge, hides in the house.
Oh
because
yes,
does
they're
not
quite, yes, they don't like snow whippets.
But here you go, you see. We're
How's
straight
your
into the
whippet?
dog.
I love that. Remember.
Because I know she's got one, because I do listen to the podcast, fortunately, the Jane Garvey and Fee Glover. It's really good, you should. And Emily was on it last week.
Yes.
And talking about her whippet. And I thought, how exciting, because I hadn't realised until then that you had a whippet. It makes perfect sense, of course you would.
Well,
and
my whippet sits on the bed in the corner, and I put the lead on and I pull it, and the whole bed moves. The whippet does not, but the bed comes for a little walk along the hall, until we get to the front door, and he looks at the snow and then just sort of runs away. So it's a perfect pet, actually. You know, you couldn't want anything more.
You said something in that podcast. Can I just ask this question? You said,
I
have a whippet because it goes with everything.
Everything.
And I didn't know what that meant.
Soft furnishings.
Oh, I see.
Perfect. Carpets.
I just said...
Sofas. I take it to Zara. You know, it goes with everything.
Brilliant.
Honestly, it's perfect.
It obviously goes with beds, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Shall we talk about you now?
Oh, okay.
Shall we talk about you for a moment? Girl who thought she was a dog.
There we go.
Racehorse who learned to dance. Did you think you were a dog?
Yeah, well, the idea... So the book that I did for World Book Day today, hurrah, well done to everyone who went to schools that weren't actually closed this morning. Really disappointing that those schools are closed. But I'm hoping all the children are at home reading.
Do you know what? My son had to sit through the Globe Theatre production yesterday. They all went to the Globe Theatre and sat and watched Much Ado About Nothing for 3 hours. And I just thought it was brilliant.
What, because he couldn't go to school?
No. They did it as a school trip. They just made them go and sit in the snow in the Globe Theatre.
It was an open-air production, was it? Oh, that's
and
great.
I said, what do you think of the Globe? And he said, what a stupid idea not to have a roof. I mean,
It's like being in
all he took
Pyeongchang.
away.
At least there they had heated seats.
There you go.
For the opening ceremony.
Right, come on,
Anyway,
back to your dog. Back to you wanting to be a dog.
I put it in the blurb on the first children's book that about me, because I thought it was more interesting than saying broadcast and all that rubbish. I put Claire thought she was a dog until she was whatever age. Anyway, this little kid in a thing I was at in Jersey puts their hand up and said, could I ask you a question? When did you realise you weren't a dog? Or did your parents have to tell you?
Oh, yes.
And I thought that's such an interesting concept. So that was the idea then for the girl who thought she was a dog.
There's a lot of fluidity now.
But there is, and therefore you would be very open-minded.
You would.
If how many children have you got?
2.
2, and if one of them said, I'm a whippet, you'd be all for that.
I would, actually.
Because they'd go with everything. And I think that's quite cool. I also think we all should be a bit dog, actually. A bit more dog. I think at least 10 minutes every day we should be a dog.
And what would you do in that 10 minutes?
Basically. Not that kind of dog.
Oh, sorry.
A nice, friendly dog that wags its tail, yeah. Don't start humping my leg, that would be awful. But, you know, just happy about everything. Just happy about people and food and exercise and more food and sleeping and watching telly. You know, just happy. That's what I mean.
Yes.
They're human, really, aren't they?
No, well,
like
they're
human.
much nicer than us.
So is it true you rode before you walked?
No, definitely, yes.
So how did that work then?
How does it not work?
They just put you on a horse?
Yeah, pony.
A
Shetland pony. She came in the house.
So it was only a little bit bigger than you as a toddler, really?
It was quite a lot bigger than me, but it was only a little bit bigger than the dog, and I tried to ride the dog. And dogs aren't really, you know, lurchers particularly, bigger version of a, exactly, love a lurcher, but quite skinny backed.
Yes.
You know, whereas at least a Shetland pony has a wider back. And
Sorry, yes.
So that was the only reason. Clare Balding, you heard it here first, ladies and gents. She took up riding because it was slightly more comfortable than being on the back of a dog.
Yeah.
Is that right? More or less?
Well, as much as one can think at that age, yes. It seems sensible. And easier for my parents to get me, well, not my father, because he never really saw us. He did live at home, but, you know, he never saw us. But easier for my mother to take me around on a pony quicker. You know this from all your travels. Much quicker to be on a
pony. And no parking.
If you're in Mongolia, it's quicker to be on a pony.
Yeah, the bus service is rotten.
Yeah,
Mongolia.
exactly.
I
Quicker to be
prefer
on the back.
camels. I think
Do
camels. I miss.
They spit though.
They have a hump or two humps, which is always all the time.
All the time.
No, I admire people who ride. I admire you. You know, I was never very comfortable on a horse. I was rather frightened of them, really, to be honest. But there you are.
I don't ride that often anymore.
But it's such, for
There's
you,
some
it's such a natural way into a sort of conversation with kids through your books, isn't it?
Oh
The
God,
animals?
yeah, it's so easy. Exactly. It's an easy way into conversations with most adults too. Go around London, talk to the dogs. Don't talk to the
it.
people. You talk to, do you know that? Or you make loads of friends
Do you know
through
what?
their dogs.
The worst thing was I saw this man whose dog grabbed a ball in the middle of the park and started deflating this little boy's ball. And the man turned round to his dog and he said, "Buster, we've talked about this before." And I didn't even find it strange.
No.
I was just like, he's very embarrassed. They've clearly had that conversation, the dog's forgotten. But you do, don't you?
Oh, totally.
You carry on talking, and they're very
Buster.
sensible. And
Buster's very
Buster,
bad.
we've talked about this. Yeah. Give us a quick thought before we move on. World Book Day.
Oh, yes.
You've been in the schools. Does it have a
I haven't
big-
yet actually. I'm due to do something in Newcastle on Saturday, but a bit concerned.
If you're watching in Newcastle, put
Well,
away the
I'm
bunting for a
concerned
bit.
for them.
It sounded... What do you think?
I would love to go, but
you
I
gonna
have
go?
a horrible feeling it's not going to be on because I just wonder whether anyone's going to be able to get there. It is a red zone at the moment, Emily. You know this.
Right,
One shouldn't be
right,
encouraging
right.
people to go out.
To go out,
a red
no
zone.
going out to
It's
Newcastle.
a red zone.
Right, or Scotland, or whatever, all of them.
Devon
Right.
now, as well. I don't know,
Devon.
who knows. We'll never get out of this theatre. The snow outside is 20 feet high.
But luckily we've got lots of books. We can
Yeah,
just
we
sit
can
here
just sit
and read.
and read.